My dear friends, the gospel text is from John chapter 20, from verse 9 to 31. And it narrates the appearance of Jesus to the disciples after his resurrection from the dead. The theme is the ambassadors of the divine mercy. My aim is to draw our attention to the statements of Jesus when he appeared to the disciples and how these can help us to understand and to become ambassadors of the divine mercy. Peace be with you. This is the first statement of Jesus after his resurrection from the dead and his appearance to the disciples. What is the usual reaction to friends who betray us or abandon us at the time that they are needed the most? We usually bear a grudge against them, or we avoid their company. In the passage, it is interesting to note that the first thing that Jesus did when he appeared to the disciples was to say to them, "Peace be with you." Imagine that we're in the shoes of Jesus. What would we have said? Surely it will not be a message about peace. Why? Because the disciples, as we know, were in the company of Jesus for 3 years. And throughout the time together, Jesus taught them and told them that he will suffer, he will die, but then on the third day, he will rise again. At one time, Peter even said to him, "If all the others will desert you, I will never abandon you." But we know that before a slave girl, Peter denied knowledge of Jesus. And then all the others also abandoned him. So alone and unaided, Jesus had to go through the excruciating event of suffering and death. Then after his resurrection, he appeared to Mary Magdalene. And his statement to her was, "But go to my brothers and tell them, I'm going to my Father and your Father, to my God and to your God." John chapter 20, verse 17b. So the question is, why have they locked themselves up in the room? Why are they still doubting the resurrection? My dear friends, despite all these, the first word from the lips of Jesus to the disciples was not a word of anger or disappointment. Neither was it a word of condemnation or judgment. Rather, it was the word peace. A word that is so soothing. A word that seeks the welfare of the other. A word which forgives and reconciles. A word that is used when one is merciful. When Thomas doubted the resurrection after the others had told him, what did Jesus say when he appeared again? "Peace be with you." Amazingly, "peace be with you" is repeated in the text 3 times to imply peace, perfect peace. This is the wish and the prayer of Jesus for the disciples. My dear friends, the second statement by Jesus is, "As the Father has sent me, so do I send you." This is to mean that as he has been sent by the Father to share the gift of peace with the disciples, they too must become ambassadors of peace. In other words, after benefiting from the gift of peace, we must also share the same with others. When God has given us the gift of peace, even though we are unworthy, we must share the same with others when they too are unworthy. What is therefore the conclusion? My dear friends, Jesus wants us to experience peace in our hearts, peace in our families, and peace in our world. For this to happen, we need to allow the peace of Easter to reign in our hearts. And we also need to become ambassadors of this peace. In the year 2000, precisely on 30th April, Saint Pope John Paul II, in canonizing Sister Faustina Kowalska, declared that the Sunday following Easter Sunday should be celebrated as Divine Mercy Sunday. This was because for the Pope, Divine Mercy is the Easter gift that the Church received from Christ and offers to humanity. And the Gospel reading of today explains this as Jesus came on Easter Sunday evening and after wishing them peace, gave them the power to forgive sins. This is mercy. This is the Easter gift which the church has the mandate to offer humanity. So in celebrating Divine Mercy Sunday, we need to become ambassadors of peace, ambassadors of the divine mercy. May the Lord bless you all. Amen.